Hello, welcome back to another video. My name is Gemma, and today we're gonna be dusting off some of the oldest books on my bookshelf. So this is the "Why haven't I read these yet" tag, which was the brainchild of Crystal at Liberace and was weaponised into a tag by Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads. And I was graciously tagged by the lovely Alice at Alice and the Giant Bookshelf, and I quite fancied this one, so I thought we'd give it a go. So there are 5 prompts, so it shouldn't be too long, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you the physical book that fits the prompt and the ebook that fits the prompt, because I have a bit of a Kindle issue. I have about 600, maybe 700 books on my Kindle. And so I'm going to give you the answers for the books that correspond to the ebook situation also. Wow, that was really well put together sentence, Gemma. Words are hard today. Bear with me. Grab a beverage. If you drink, it might make more sense. So the first prompt is a classic book that's been on your shelf forever. So the physical book that I have for this is Huckleberry Finn and the Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. So you can probably tell just by looking at it that this is like a really old copy. I think I actually bought this in like one of those primary school book fairs. Let's have a little gander. Let's see when this edition was published. 1998. So yeah, that's about right. I'd have been in year 5. Don't do the maths, then you'll know how old I am. First published in 1884, so I think that would classify as a classic. And yeah, so I've had it on my bookshelf for a good old while, and luckily I am buddy reading one of these with Alice in the new year. I can't actually remember which one, but they're both here, so I might read both of them. But yeah, that's been there a long time.
84 years.
And the other classic, the classic that's been on my Kindle the longest, is also a children's book. Sorry, this is a children's book about a bloke called Huckleberry Finn and another bloke called Tom Sawyer. I don't really know any more than that. Does anyone know what this book is about? It doesn't even have a blurb on it, man. So we'll find out, but it's supposed to be a children's book. But look at the size of that text. It's tiny, teeny tiny. Maybe that's because children's eyesight is significantly better than mine. Anyway, I don't know what it's about, so I'll have to let you know when I get to it. The other book that's on my Kindle that's been on for ages is another children's book, and that is The Railway Children by Edith Nesbit. And I've never even watched the film, but I'm guessing it's about some kids and a railway. But I really need to get to it because I've never read it. It's a classic children's book, and yeah, epic fail on my part. So the next prompt is a fiction book, and so the physical book that I have for this is Wolf Winter by Cecilia Eckbach. This was a airport purchase, one of those where I didn't need another book to go on holiday with, and so I bought it in an airport, took it on holiday, brought it back, and it's sat on my shelf ever since. I don't know too much about this, but I've just realised it's blurbed by Hilary Mantel. So maybe it's quite good. But yeah, how old is this? So this was first published in 2015. So not that long ago, but it was one of those that was like prominent in the bookshelf at the time. So it's probably been like a good 5 years on my shelf. And I don't know too much about this one. Something to do with like an isolated village in a mountain. They meet like once a year in the winter, and a man is found dead. They say it's a wolf, but was it a wolf? I think. So a little bit sort of murder mystery, creepy. The cover gives me like gothic vibes. So I do really want to get to this. Maybe I'll have to make this like a wintry one, because there's winter in the title. But yeah, so that's been on my shelf for ages. And the ebook that I've had, fiction ebook that I've had on my Kindle for the longest time, is Silver Bay by Jojo Moyes. I have no idea what that one's about. It had a pretty cover, and I've read Jojo Moyes' Me Before You trilogy and really enjoyed it. So I want to try some more by her. picked that one up, never got to it. So the next prompt is a non-fiction, and for that I have The Five by Hallie Rubenhold, which is about the untold lives of the women killed by Jack the Ripper. And this had loads of hype on booktube when I first started watching it, so what, 3-4 years ago, a while back, and I instantly picked it up and didn't get to it. So yeah, I have had this on my shelf for a long time, but I'm definitely reading this year, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say I'm co-hosting this for someone's read along, someone's book club, so I will let you know more about that when the time is right. But yeah, I will be getting to this, but it's been on my shelf for ages. The other non-fiction that I've had on my Kindle for the longest time is Into Thin Air by Jon Krakauer. I have actually watched was it a film? I think it was a film that was based on this book about all the people that went up Everest, and there was a big storm at the top, and it didn't go well, basically. So yeah, I really want to read this. I've never read any Jon Krakauer before, but he gets a lot of praise, so I would really like to give him a go. Sooner rather than later would be good. Maybe this could be a non-fiction November one. Remind me of that closer to the time. Okay, a genre book, and for this I've picked a book that has been on my shelf for ages. My husband bought this for me, I don't even know how many years ago, and it's generally not my jam, which is probably why I haven't picked it up, but I would like to try it, and that is The Family by Martina Cole. So this is a thriller, and I have read, I read The Take by Martina Cole, and I actually really enjoyed it. So yeah, she tends to do like family dynamics, or like messed up family dynamics, really, really well. So I do want to read it, but I haven't got to it yet. And then another genre that is not usually my jam is romance. And so on my Kindle, languishing in no man's land, is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. And I think this is about two people who like hate each other, who end up going on their friend's honeymoon because their friends get food poisoning or something like that. And then, as you can imagine, I expect they fall madly in love and blah 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 blah. So because it's a romance, I just haven't got to it, but everyone says it's like a good one. But then people said that about The Hating Game, and if you saw my wrap up of that book, and then the final prompt is book owned for the longest. And that, I mean, technically it could have gone to old Tom Sawyer there, but we're going to go for Incendiary by Chris Cleave, which I don't really know what this is about. This is sort of to do with a mother-child relationship, I think. It doesn't really give much away in the blurb, but this was upsold to me in a Waterstones, I think when I was a teenager, and it was just sold to me. Oh yeah, it was definitely in Waterstones. But look, £3.99 when you spend £10 or more. Well, you don't get that anymore, do you? When was this published? 2005. 2005. Oh, but apparently it won the Somerset Maugham Award, among others, and was shortlisted for the Commonwealth Writers' Prize. So yeah, don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about this author. I certainly haven't seen anyone talk about this book, and it is on my priority reads for this year, because it has been on my shelf so long. And the book on my Kindle that has been there the longest is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. I don't think I really need to tell you what that book is about. It's like a psychological thriller. I have seen the film, which I think is what is putting me off reading the book, because I already know like the twist, but I do want to read it because I'm like the only person in the world who hasn't read it, right? So one day I will read it. That one is also on my priority list for this year. However, we're now in August and I haven't read it yet. So that is the 5 physical books and 5 ebooks that have been languishing in my life for the longest amount of time, and I'm going to tag some people to tell me what theirs are. So the first person I'm going to tag is a newer booktuber to me, but I'm absolutely loving her content, and that is Dia at Novel Idea. She is fabulous. She has really wide reading taste, and she gets through loads and loads of books as well. So you can sort of just cherry pick the best out of what she reads, which is always my favourite kind of booktuber. So Dia, if you haven't done this one, I am tagging you. I'm also going to tag the lovely Jolene from Bookworm Adventure Girl. Jolene's a Canadian booktuber, if you didn't already know, because I expect most of you who are subscribed to me are already subscribed to Jolene, because we have pretty similar reading tastes and she is just fabulous. So yeah, Jolene, I'm tagging you. And I'm also going to tag Sarah from Your True Shelf, who is also a newer booktuber to me. But she has a fabulous channel and she's super laid back, and yeah, I'm absolutely eating up her content at the moment. So those are the 3 people that I am going to tag. If you want to do it and I haven't tagged you, consider yourself tagged. And if you want to see the whole extent of the books on my bookshelf, I will leave my bookshelf tour whole TBR video right here. And I will see you very soon with another one. Bye guys.